Matchmaker TV channel. And today I'm really proud to announce our guest, Tene Edwards. Now, you may have seen Tene's writings, huge Instagram following, and certainly on the feeds of celebrities like Wesley Snipes, Khloe Kardashian, Candy Bruce. There's so many. But Tene is a poet. She's an award-winning author of Walk with Wings, and a self-love advocate. She's also known for her raw poetry online. It's absolutely fantastic. Her writing journey began in 2016, sadly during heartbreak, but actually some real positivity came out of it, which is fantastic. So Tene, welcome. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, thank you for having me.
My pleasure, absolutely. I'm so honored to have you here today. So let me start by showing you that I have this book on my desk. And when I want a daily little piece of inspiration, I do pick your book up and I read some of your poetry because it's just brilliant. And what I'd like to do, actually, if I can start off by just reading something that just resonates with me as well. It's called Celebrate Yourself. So stop criticizing yourself over the things you haven't done and start celebrating the things that you have achieved. I love it. Because do you know what? It sounds really obvious, but it's so many people don't do it.
We don't. Yeah.
We don't celebrate our achievements enough. So please tell us how this book came about. So started in 2016. Is there a story behind the book?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a journey. I'd say. It started off when I graduated from university with a law degree, and I was practicing as a legal assistant for a number of years, but realized that I completely hated my job. But my family were really proud of me and they really wanted me to pursue this career. But I just felt like I couldn't be myself in the corporate environment. The way I was starting to speak was changing because I was changing my voice to try and fit into the environment. Also straightening my hair a lot to try and fit in, which was really damaging my hair. And it just really depressed me. Like, I just really wasn't enjoying that career route. And I felt really lost in my career path. And I felt like I was the only one out of my friends who had no idea what they wanted to do and who felt this way. And I would say on top of that as well, I was going through heartbreak. I was dating somebody who broke up with me to be with somebody else, and this was the second time that it had happened to me. So,
oh no.
Yeah. So it just made me feel really insecure about myself. And and I just felt like I just wasn't good enough. And I blamed it on my outer appearance. I blamed it all on myself. And yeah, I just felt really down about my life and I felt like it was all shattering apart. And I've always been the type to not speak to people about things that I've been going through. I would say that I've silenced my voice for a very long time, growing up as a child, and I just didn't know what to do. But I knew that I needed to let it out somehow, and I don't know what led me to picking up the pen and the journal, but that's what I did, and I literally just vented my anger out inside that journal. And for me, that just felt like such a relief. And I wasn't expecting it at all. Like, I didn't know that it would have had that impact on me, but it did. And so, and so I carried on writing and writing because I realized that writing became my self-care tool. And it just really, and writing just really helped me to process my emotions, be honest with myself, and open myself up. And I would say that that was the beginning of my writing journey.
Wow. And I love the way you call it a self-care tool, because there's so many of us that, well, we express ourselves in different ways, don't we? So for some, it may be through a podcast, or some it may be through social media, or again, it could be just written words or in a secret diary, or it's just some way, but some form of actually releasing that emotion. I think that's really really valuable, actually, and it's something that I know a lot of people do. So when you wrote the book Walk with Wings, did you write the poetry first and then put a title to it, or was it a case of actually so for example, the poem that I read out is called Celebrate Yourself. So did you come out with that first, or was it the poem first?
When I first started writing, I had no idea that it was going to turn into a book. So I definitely started writing first before I came up with the title of the book. I started to post my words on social media because I wanted to see whether anybody else could understand me and find comfort in my words. So I created an anonymous account because I didn't want anybody close to me to know that I was writing, because I just fear that they would think that I was silly or weird for posting these things up on social media. So I kept that away from them. But yeah, I didn't have any titles for the pieces that I was writing or anything. I was just literally getting my thoughts and feelings out there. And I'd say I wasn't creating poetry to begin with. It was just, the account was just merely just a thought journal. Yeah.
Right. It was literally for you to express yourself and get your thoughts out of your head onto paper. Exactly. So from creating an anonymous account, there was obviously strangers. Was that easier to talk to than talking to family members?
Yeah, definitely it was. I just really feared my family members finding out that, you know, I was in relationships and this is what happened to me. I just felt really embarrassed about the situations. And I have an older brother as well, and we don't speak about relationships or anything like that either. And of course, older brothers are like protective and so on. So so I really feared him finding out as well. So I just tried to keep it away from them as long as possible. But when I started to write the book, I felt like I needed to tell them. And when I did, like, all these fears that I had in my head of what I thought that they might have said just didn't happen. I think I just made it all up in my head. It turned out that they were really supportive and
how fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant, because actually, but I think you're probably hiding it from them because you were so fearful of what they were thinking, because it means so much to you. And, you know, to have a stranger's comment, it's great, but it also, it's not as powerful as a family comment, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and how was the response? So when you first put your first poem up, what was the response from, let's just call them strangers for now?
I had some really good responses, like responses that I just never thought would happen. I had messages from people telling me how much my words have helped them get through a challenge, or help them get up and carry on with their day, or helped inspire them. And for me, that just felt so rewarding. Like, it was
fantastic.
Bigger than
that's brilliant.
Like, bigger than anything I had ever done.
And now, tell me, are they your biggest fans, your family? They must be, surely.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're really supportive. I can't complain.
That's absolutely, fantastic. So, when was your book published? How long did it take to write first, actually?
I would say it took about 6 months to write the book.
Okay.
Yeah, I had most of the pieces before I decided I wanted to write the book. So it was just a matter of putting them together and figuring out the structure and things like that. I'd say that the editing took quite a long time, but all in all, it took about 6 months, I'd say, to write the whole book.
That's fantastic. I mean, what an achievement, from something of you just sharing your feelings in a closed space to now actually, when I see you, certainly on your posts on Instagram and some of the comments and things that people are sharing, that they might share a screenshot or a photo of your book on a quote that means something to them. You're actually reaching so many people and you're helping so many people that may have been in a similar situation as yourself. How does that feel? I know that wasn't the intention of the book, or even why you wrote it, but how does it feel now knowing that you're actually sharing and supporting quite a few people out there?
It feels so rewarding. Like, I can't even explain the feeling.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it just feels so surreal. Even the amount of people that follow me, like, sometimes I think, like, I wonder how it would look to have 40,000 people in one room. Like, that is so many
It's
people.
true, isn't it?
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. And it just comes to show that when you follow your heart, like, you just never know where it will lead you. And I just feel like it will always lead you into the place where you always meant to be. Law did not give me this feeling at all. Now I feel a lot more free. I feel like I can express myself openly into the world, and I love what I do. And yeah, I can't even describe it.
It's lovely though, isn't it? And I meet quite a few entrepreneurs and leaders like yourself and creative leaders who were not happy in their previous role. And to hear what you did, so you finished your law degree, you could have gone into law, you could have been sat in a beautiful office somewhere practicing what you trained for, but it didn't hit you here, did it? It wasn't your passion, it wasn't your drive. So what would you say now is your drive? Is it through your own personal values? Is it through just sheer enjoyment? How do you feel?
I will say that my drive now is because I know how it feels to be insecure, and I know how that can deter you and be an obstacle towards, like, achieving the things that you want to achieve, and reaching for your goals, and just setting boundaries. So I would say that my mission now is to try to help as many people as I can cultivate a loving and supportive relationship with themselves through providing them with the practical tools to be able to do so. And I do that through workshops, through speaking, and I've just launched a new project called the Seed Project, where I'm going to try and get a lot of professionals together and experts in various different fields, such as financial educators, psychotherapists, and so on, to have a platform where people can go and access the support that they need and engage in self-care activities, workshops, and discussions to empower them to be the best version of themselves. Thank you.
And just look at where it's just been a platform for you, hasn't it, now, to actually share that care and compassion that you clearly have, and you're really, really willing others now to survive and get through whatever they're going through, because there is light at the end of the tunnel and you can do it. But sometimes we just need those thought leaders to show us the way, which I think you're clearly doing. And it's brilliant. I've really enjoyed hearing about your journey and where you are now. So let me ask you, what are you curious about right now? What's really making you, oh, this is my next project? Maybe I appreciate, we've just talked about this one project, but is there another book? Is there something else that maybe you can talk about?
Yeah, definitely. So I am working on a children's book, and
fantastic.
Thank you. This book was inspired by DJ Khaled, actually, and the positive affirmations he speaks over his life and his family's life. I just find it so inspiring, and I think that's a testimony towards his success. The language he uses around his family, and the words that he speaks out into the universe. I mean, I only discovered the power of words when I started writing to empower myself. The feeling that gave me just made me realize that, our words carry energy, and that we must choose, that we must choose the words that we speak over our lives carefully. And I think that's something that I could have really done with knowing as a child. And so I want to be able to give children a book that allows them to do this, allows them to speak positive words over their life, because I feel like that will help them strive and prosper in the future. So
fantastic.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
We need more role models, don't we, for the children, and for the next generation. So your book for the children is, can you give us a little insight? A little sneaky
sure.
peek?
So it will be full of affirmations from A to Z. And I wonder if I can share a page or two from the book with you guys.
Sure, absolutely. Thank
Let me
you.
try. That's okay. I should have probably got it up before.
That's
Bear with
okay.
me.
If it allows us to, then brilliant.
So each page starts off with the words I am, and the A to Z is the positive word that comes after the I am. So one of the pages says, well, it's taking a long time to load. Sorry.
That's okay. No, that's fine. Don't worry. Well, when you talk about the two words, I am, I'd shared that actually on a quote of mine on, well, you'll probably find it on my Instagram page actually, but it's, I am are two of the most powerful words that we can use, because what you choose to write after it shapes who you are. And
exactly.
And how you're feeling, your whole mindset, where you want to take it. So I am powerful. I am curious. I'm knowledgeable. I'm fearful. It's okay to have sometimes to have some what are conceived as negative words, but actually they can be turned into a powerful word and a powerful set of actions. But when you work through them.
Yeah, exactly. It's about feeding your mind. It's about feeding your mind with positivity and trying to kill those gremlins, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That every
Absolutely.
now and then. So I've got it open. So one of the pages states, I am driven. It takes one step at a time to get to the top of the mountain. Another page is, I am enough. God blessed me with the gift of life and made me beautiful in his eyes.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Yeah, those are two sneak peeks from the book.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
So is the book complete yet, or are we still, will we have to wait for it?
It is complete. At the moment, I'm trying to work on the illustrations, and also I'll be pitching it to publishers as well and seeing how that goes. Yeah.
Wonderful. And what an exciting journey. Did you ever think back in 2016, or when you were doing your law degree, or when you qualified, that you're going to be a published author and a celebrated published author?
Not at all. Like, it literally just was never in the life plan. I scraped to see in English when I was at school, and it wasn't a subject that I enjoyed at all. So it definitely wasn't something I thought I'd be doing, no.
But I think it's really interesting, isn't it, when we talk about schooling then, how sometimes some subjects are not as relevant as they could be, and as powerful as they could be. I think there's a lot we can learn, and maybe just adapt the curriculum. You know, learning is really important. Knowledge is very important, but certainly if new skills come to us later on in life, you just wonder if these had been taught to us earlier, would it have made a huge impact on us and maybe change the direction of where we were going?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's about like tailoring lessons towards I don't know, individuals. I feel like sometimes it's just too generic when people have like different interests in the same topic, but just different things in that topic, if that makes sense. And it's about trying to make the lesson tailored to individuals' interests.
Yeah. And it's about getting the most out of that person, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it might be a visual learner, or
Yeah.
there might be more about sort of the analytical thinking, the creative
Yeah.
thinking. It really depends what their strengths are. And if
Yeah.
there was a way of bringing all of that together in teaching, I'm sure
That would
there
be
is.
amazing.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be amazing, because you just wonder how much, you know, when we're given a creative outlay, an outlet to sort of actually explore where we can go.
Yeah, so true.
I think we should have a little bit more of that, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm sure that's a whole other discussion. We'll have to get some teaching leaders on and see where that goes with that, because I think it's a big question at the minute.
Yeah.
You know, where we can take education to actually get the most out of our children and the next generation,
Yeah.
to be more free thinkers almost, still
Yeah.
follow and understand and gain the knowledge that we all need to have, but maybe just give them a little bit of freedom with it. I think it would be quite interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, definitely. And life skills. That's something that I really want schools to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's really important, isn't it? And my daughter's she's doing international business with Spanish for her degree, which is great. But that was all ignited from doing a secondary course in business during her GCSEs. But it was all about teaching national insurance, PAYE, how a limited company is formed, and something just clicked in her. So the maths side, forget about it. But actually the real life teaching, as we've just talked about, that ignited something really, really special in her. And now she's off doing that, which is really, really brilliant. And I think that's what we need more of, an understanding of what real life is like and the options available. You don't have to just go to uni. You don't have to just follow the route if it's not for you. There are so many other options. I think you're inspirational. The very fact you did all your law degree, but the guts and courage it took to actually stand back out of it.
Yeah.
And tell your family. I'm sure that was probably one of the hardest conversations you've ever had.
Yeah, it was. And especially when they didn't want to hear it to begin with.
No, no, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, so it was quite tough, but I just felt like it was something that I needed to do, because I remember when I was at that point where it was like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this anymore. My uncle was actually really, really sad. My uncle was on his deathbed and he was passing away from cancer. And I remember when we went to the hospital and he was going over all the things he didn't get to do in life. Like he was saying, I haven't even had the chance to go skiing yet or sit in a Lamborghini. And I think that was when the light switch went off in my head. And I thought, oh my God, like I don't want to be having regrets when I'm about to go. So it's time to live my life.
Yeah. It's not about having regrets, isn't it? Life is too short, isn't it? And
exactly.
I think what a fantastic uncle to ignite that in you.
Yeah. I know.
In sad circumstances. But actually you could form part of his legacy.
Exactly. Yeah.
By following your dreams now, and you are, which is, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So the next step, you've got your book, you've got the project as well. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh gosh, I really wanna tour a lot more. Like I wanna meet my readers in person. And I want to meet, people who like really enjoy my work. I really want to meet them in person, because I feel like there's nothing more powerful than that contact, isn't it? Like face-to-face contact.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The human one-to-one connection is huge. And that's why I wanted to do the video side of this as well, because I think it's nice when you see the face and you see the expressions, you see how people react to questions. You can see sparks in people's eyes when they're talking about their passion and what they do. I think it's really, really important. And this is a perfect platform to reach more people, and maybe your audience, you know, your fans will be watching, hopefully, to have a, you know, and see what else you've got on. And I'm sure they'll be so pleased that there's another book coming out.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. You know, the human connection is really, really important. We live in such a digital world. Everything is about click, connect. Yes, I'm your friend. Yes, I'm your connection.
I know,
but
right?
We don't actually get to learn about the people in the background, do you? Unless you pick up the phone or you actually have a meeting, a one-to-one with them.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's just, I love it. I love people. I love listening to other people's stories and journeys. I think it's just really inspiring to hear how other people have triumphed over their challenges, because we all go through different challenges, don't we? And it's just
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And it just takes one key point, or it might even be something that you don't think is very relevant, but it resonates with somebody.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you can help, yeah, absolutely. And if you can help and support somebody on their journey, how fantastic is that? I just think it's perfect. And we have all this technology at our fingertips to try and inspire people.
Yeah, a lot of people, I find that a lot of people find social media to be a really negative thing, and a lot of people don't like it. But for me, I think we can make social media a positive experience for ourselves by paying close attention to who we follow, the people we follow, and what sort of emotions those people's accounts bring up for us. Because I sometimes get messages from people saying that, you know, they're following accounts that are making them feel insecure about themselves and things like that. And I just say, unfollow them. Like, if they're evoking those emotions in you, unfollow them. Or if they're making you think in a negative way, then I think it's so important to surround yourself with
the right people.
Yeah, with the right people, both offline and online.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And one of my favorite words is choice. So we have the choice to click that unfollow button, unfriend. You know, you might think they were the right choice to start with.
Yeah.
But actually, if they're not making you feel good,
you've
got to surround yourself with like-minded people and like-minded leaders or inspirational leaders that will change your thought process, change your mindset. And you know, so you are constantly thinking positive thoughts, which is really, really important. And especially in this world today, when social media can have such a detrimental effect on people. I totally agree. It's really important to have the right people around you. And it sounds like you have, you know, and like you say, you weren't really quite sure why you were fearful of your family's reactions to your book and your poems. And they're your biggest fans and your biggest supporters.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's just what it is. Like, sometimes we put these fears in our head, which are not actually true. And I think these fears can really deter us from doing the things that we really want to do. When all in all, we just need to be bold and step out into our true selves, because that's the only way, you know, to experience freedom and to step into self-love and to be the best version of yourself.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And what a fantastic note to end on as well, about being bold, be positive. I think it's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today, Tene. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed talking with you.
It's been an honor to speak to you as well. Thank you very much for inviting me onto your show.
No, thank you. I can't wait to get the reactions, because I'm sure it's going to be a really, really positive feedback on this. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care and enjoy the rest
of the Thank you very much. And yourself. Bye.
Bye.